Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the March 9th Council meeting of the City of Mayfield Heights. May I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Brunello.
Here.
Mr. Buffa.
Here.
Ms. Finney Brown.
Here.
Mr. Medic.
Here.
Mr. Minor.
Here.
Ms. Talbin.
Here.
Mr. Teller.
Here.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next is the acceptance of the minutes, approval of the minutes from our February 23rd, 2026 council meeting. I hope everyone's had a chance to review and read these minutes over. Is there a motion to approve these minutes?
Moved.
Moved by Mr. Teller,
Second.
second by Ms. Finney Brown. Are there any suggested changes, amendments, or deletions to those minutes? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? These minutes have been approved as written. Next on the agenda are correspondence and announcements. Does any member of council have any correspondence or announcements?
I do.
Yes, Ms. Talbin.
Yes, I attended the Chagrin River Watershed board meeting on February 26th. They shared some funding opportunities. One of them might be worth us taking a look at from OD&R Nature Works. It's to acquire, develop, or rehabilitate recreational areas. I pulled the 2025 list of people who got it, so we could see like what kinds of things other cities have done, and I'll hand that off to the mayor so you can look at it and decide if it's something worth pursuing. It's $150,000 max with a 25% match requirement. They also shared info on their current projects. They do amazing work with our watershed, things around Lake Erie, and they're celebrating their 30th anniversary this year, so you may see some things in the community to do that. So it's great that we're a part of this.
Thank you, Ms. Talbin. Any questions for Ms. Talbin? Any other announcements? Next are the reports of officers, starting with the mayor.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. The Fire Department welcomed a new firefighter. The Fire Department welcomed a new firefighter on Friday. It was with great honor to swear in Nick Martinitis, and he is going to be a part of our fire family. He is filling the open spot of Assistant Fire Chief Matt Bobinski. I also sworn the new Fire Chief Matt Bobinski, and so happy for the Fire Department to have him in that role. Our pancake breakfast was a huge success. It was a wonderful event where everyone was able to enjoy a great breakfast and also sign up for our spring events. A huge thank you to everyone who helped with this event, especially our Parks and Recreation Department and our City Council for serving up some of those great pancakes. Thank you. This evening, we have two proclamations to read, and I will begin with Heather from the Mayfield Athletic. It's National Athletic Training Awareness Month. Claiming March Awareness National Athletic Training Month. Whereas the state of Ohio began getting licensed in 1990 and as an organization committed to the education of its members in enhancement of the profession of athletic training, creating better health care for the population it serves. And whereas athletic trainers from professional, collegiate, and high school teams, industries, physician offices, rehabilitation clinics, and every branch of the United States military work together to promote and practice the profession of athletic training within the city of Mayfield Heights. Whereas athletic trainers have a long history of providing quality health care for athletes and persons engaged in their regular physical activity. And whereas athletic trainers are highly skilled healthcare professionals who specialize in immediate, acute, and emergency care, examination, assessment, and diagnose, the injury prevention, risk management, therapeutic intervention, and rehab of injury and illness. And whereas the National Athletic Trainers Association represents and supports more than 45,000 members of the athletic training profession, including more than 2,300 athletic trainers in the state of Ohio. And whereas leading organizations concerned with athletic training and healthcare have united in a common commitment to raise public awareness of the importance of this profession and the role of the athletic trainers in the provision of quality healthcare services. And whereas it is a desire of the City of Mayfield Heights to promote improved health care for athletes and all of those who engage in physical activity. Now, therefore, I, Diane M. Snyder, Mayor of Mayfield Heights, do hereby proclaim the month of March as our National Awareness Month and call upon residents of Mayfield Heights to join me in recognizing athletic trainers for their honorable work in keeping the community safe, active, and healthy. And I signed it today, March 26th. Thank you.
Thank you.
Heather works at Mayfield High School, and she is one of the most amazing athletic trainers.
Thank you.
I know you've been there for all my kids.
Yeah.
And many of their friends.
Yes.
But I was so happy when she reached out to ask if our city would make this night,
Yes.
or this month, an awareness month. So
Thank you so much
for letting me
absolutely
be a part of this.
And thank you for doing it. We
Oh,
appreciate it
you're
so much.
welcome.
Thank
You're
you so
welcome.
much.
Thank you. All right, our next proclamation goes to Mr. Steve Grano. All right. This proclamation is in the retirement of Steve Grano. Whereas Steve was born at Euclid Hospital and raised in South Euclid, where he attended Ridgeberry Elementary, Memorial Middle School, and Brush High School. And whereas Steve went into 2 years of culinary school, Northwood Institute of Indiana, and Culinary Institute of America. And whereas Steve was hired as a service department technician on April 1st, 2000. And whereas Steve is proud of his years of cooking and city events in the service department over the years where he fondly called Papa. And whereas Steve is thankful for all people he has met over the years and the friendships he has made in every department. It has meant the world to him. And whereas Steve and his family have been Mayfield Heights residents for over 30 years. And whereas Steve and his wife Becky have 3 children, Amy, Anthony, and Alex, and 3 grandchildren, Lila, Jean, Rosalie, and Christopher. And whereas Steve's hobbies are hunting, fishing, gardening, and has a special love for bonsai trees. And whereas Steve retired from the city of Mayfield Heights on February 27, 2026. And whereas the service department acknowledges Steve's significant contributions by way of his dedication and work ethic to the department. City Council and the residents of this city are all proud that we had you.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. And this is from the city of Mayfield
Thank you
Heights.
so much.
This here, you might want to take a picture with this.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
so much.
Are there any questions for the mayor? Moving on to the law department, Mr. Schmidlin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There is no formal report from the Law Department other than that there will be 2 separate requests for executive sessions tonight that will be handled at the appropriate time.
Any questions for Mr. Schmidlin? Okay, moving on to Director of Finance, Ms. Scully.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report this evening.
Any questions for Ms. Scully?
Moving on to department directors. Are there any department heads that have a report or comment based on the agenda tonight? Mr. Thomas?
Good evening, everybody. Tonight, there are two motions on your agenda that some of you might not be familiar with, so I thought I'd make myself available at the beginning of the meeting here and address the process of how projects like this typically come about. So anytime we have developers or builders that come into the community and want to build on a vacant plot of land, they go to Planning Commission for what's called a preliminary site plan approval. That gives the developer or builder initial feedback as to how the community feels about the project, allows Planning Commission to make comments, and with that preliminary approval, they're making a recommendation to you, Planning Commission is, to approve the preliminary site plan. Once that's done, it gives the builder or the developer a little more confidence to invest in the project and proceed through the rest of the process, which typically consists of architectural review, Board of Zoning Appeals for any variances, and then ultimately, once those boards are completed, it goes back to Planning Commission for final site plan approval. Again, Planning Commission makes a recommendation to City Council to approve or deny the final site plan. And once it is in front of you, you have the option of approving, denying, or modifying Planning Commission's decision. Tonight is a good example of a decision on Planning Commission that should be modified by council. I contacted Mr. Summers earlier today in regards to the Parkland Townhomes development. That preliminary site plan includes a walking path that is conceptual, and it's based off of a TIF that Jeremy can certainly at any time speak more eloquently on than I can. But the walking trail is just that. It's conceptual. It's not it's really up to the city as to whether or not they want to pursue a walking path. The revenue generated from the TIF funds can be spent however the community decides to spend it, not necessarily on a walking path. So I think tonight, for the motion to approve the Parkland Townhomes, it would be in the best interest to avoid all confusion and just modify Planning Commission's approval to remove the walking path from the site plan, which is, it's on page 2. That's the only part of your packet that it's on. So you can make a motion to remove, redact page 2 or however you want to handle that. But I think just getting the walking path away from the project will eliminate a lot of confusion. Does anybody have any questions on the process? I know I didn't do a very good job of explaining it, but it's late.
Does any other committee review the project before it comes back to council after the planning committee?
It would go to architectural review, and then if there's any required variances, it would go to the Board of Zoning Appeals. Along with police, fire, and engineering. So I think if that's it, again, I know I didn't do a great job of explaining that, but I think when it does come up, when the motion does come up, I think it's in the best interest of the process if we just remove the confusion of the walking path. Okay?
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Any other questions? Yes, Mr. Rowan.
Good evening, and thank you, Council. I just wanted to provide a couple updates on some projects, just so Council's aware of where we're at. With the sign program, Archer Signs, who was awarded the contract, as you know, we've gone through 3 rounds of shop drawings, so we're finally done with those. They're going to move on to engineered plans and construction drawings, and then the submittal of materials for the sign. So we're moving along, and then finally fabrication and installation will follow that. So we're still on target, even though we spent a little bit more time in these initial phases than we thought. The interchange project that was approved at a couple council meetings ago, GPD is reviewing all of the previously done work, trying to get their base maps situated and prepared, and then we're going to have our kickoff meeting here hopefully soon to get that project going. The Destination Mayfield Heights magazine, the community magazine that goes out once a year, it's underway. So all of those folks who've had a role in shaping the articles have been interviewed. That process is moving forward. We're working on the articles. The ad sales are underway. So we're moving ahead with that, still anticipating early summer into the summer for publication. The master plan process that was approved through the capital budget last year, I've drafted an RFP. After the meeting, I'll have the finance director send that out to council, and you can take a look at it. Please get back any feedback or reach out with any questions you might have. The goal is to spend the next couple weeks answering questions, tweaking, and getting that to a place where council's comfortable, and then coming back on the March 23rd meeting agenda and placing it on a motion that then we can release it for proposals. Those would be due in the middle of April. We'll review them internally. Certainly, the council president could have a role in that as well. And then we'll hope to award that contract in May and get the project going. Finally, the job creation retention grants. We have a couple of those that are active, so we have the reports out. We've gotten one signed. We're waiting on the administrative fees associated with those. So once we get them signed and get the checks, the finance department will issue those payments. We also completed our one CRA report for the one active CRA that we have and submitted that to the state of Ohio. Those are due at the end of March. And then finally, when we get to the motion about the 2 development projects, if there is some questions about TIF, I could be happy to come up and give an overview. And if you want to get into the weeds of what TIFs are and how they're used, we could certainly schedule a time to talk about them in more detail.
Any questions from Mr. Rowan? Yes, Mr. Minor?
Just one. The last time we went through, and it might be a mixed question, the last time we went through a master plan, we had a committee that assisted with just the structure of it and the direction of it. Have we established a similar committee this round, or?
No, part of the role of when the request for proposal goes out and when you see it, you'll see that there's a requirement for a really robust public process. Part of that is establishing a steering committee, which will be made up of members of the administration, members of council, residents, business stakeholders. So they'll have a role of guiding that project as it goes forward. And it'll be incumbent upon the private firms that respond to the RFP to provide some outline of how they propose to do that public outreach process, including that steering committee. And then it'll be further refined in when we do the scope of work. That's actually the contract for that project.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Rowan.
You're welcome.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chuney.
Good evening, everyone. Engineering has 2 resolutions on the agenda tonight, both of which are MOUs with Cuyahoga Soil and Water. Those are for services where the county helps us stay compliant with our EPA permit. The first MOU is for control measures 1 and 2. That's about $6,600 a year. That runs for the 5-year permit. life cycle, and that's reimbursable by the sewer district. And those control measures involve public education and outreach, as well as public involvement, which are two measures on the EPA permit that we need to be compliant with. The second MOU is for control measures 4 and 5. 4 is for services pertaining to construction site stormwater. So they get involved with plan reviews, they get involved during construction, they provide inspections and make sure there aren't any violation or issues with us being compliant with the permit. And then control measure 5 is for those same sites, once they're out of construction and occupancy is issued, Soil and Water inspects those sites annually to make sure that they're living up to their development terms and agreements as far as stormwater runoff goes. Like I said, control measure 1 and 2, that MOU is reimbursable by the sewer district. The second one is not. And if you have any questions on those, I'd be happy to answer anything.
Any questions for the city engineer? Yes. Mr. Minor.
Can you just provide a quick update of the Marnell project?
Yeah, so Marnell, the last stick of pipe on Hawthorne at the north end is going in the ground today. And then there's a manhole that's got to go in, and that wraps up the Hawthorne portion, at which point they'll come back to Marnell and Hawthorne intersection and head east to Lander. So they are on schedule. Febreze is on schedule. I'll provide you an update as soon as more information is available, once they get far enough along on the acceptance portion of the sewer. So once the sanitary sewer's in the ground, they've got to wait a certain number of days, and they've got to test it per county requirements. Once they get those sections passed, they'll start installing pavement, but they won't put pavement on there until they pass those tests, in case there were any issues and they had to dig something up. It wouldn't make sense to put concrete down and dig it up. But we're getting really close to the portion of the project where people will start seeing, once pavement starts going in, I think folks will be, we haven't had too many complaints from engineering, but really, once pavement starts going in and things get restored, I think people will be really happy with the progress. Yeah, so Hawthorne's about done. The last manhole at the north end's going in, and then they'll head east to Lander. On schedule. And let's hope that the weather, we don't have too rainy of a spring once we go to put pavement in, so.
One more.
Yes, Mayor.
Were you able to look at that house today?
Yes, I did. It's a staging area where they have, they've got a storage locker for some equipment. They've got material and things staged up and down that whole corridor. They may be able to move some of that once they start installing the sanitary sewer there by the intersection of Marnell and Mallard. Right now, it's an issue if we move wherever it's like the Porta-Johns, wherever you put it, somebody's not going to be happy. And they've got stuff staged up and down that. Anybody that's driven through there, you can see they've got piles of stone that are strategically placed. There's pipe up and down that corridor for, they try to get material close to where it's going in the ground, so they're not going back and forth. But when they turn the corner and start heading east, we might be able to get them to move some of that stuff. At least clean it up. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. Moving on, next on our agenda, reports of committees, commissions, and boards. Are there any reports from committee chairpersons to begin? Starting with the Building Committee, Mr. Buffa.
Thank you, Mr. President. No report.
Thank you. Moving on to Finance and Audit Committee, Mr. Bonello.
Thank you, Mr. President. No report.
Legislative Committee, Ms. Telben.
The committee will be meeting Thursday at 5 o'clock in Chambers Council. We'll be looking at some ordinance on fire and police and a general discussion on ordinances.
Thank you. Moving on to Public Works and Service Committee, Mr. Minor.
Thank you, Mr. President. No report.
Recreations and Parks Committee, Mr. Teller.
Thank you, Mr. President. We had a great turnout for the pancake breakfast yesterday. We served approximately 450 people. Thank you to the mayor and council for helping make the event a success. Thank you to our Parks and Recreation Commission, Donovan Piquet, Matt McCauley, and Doug Woods from the Police Department, and former Councilman Don Mano for their help, and all the other volunteers who helped make this a wonderful experience for our guests. Parks and Recreation also opened registration for day camp, teen camp, swim lessons, and the Aquatic Center passes. It was a busy morning, and day camp sales came close to selling out on the first day. Coming up next is our Bunny Breakfast on March 28th. Tickets are on sale now for this year's event and includes breakfast, photo op with the bunny, and an egg hunt. This event is recommended for ages 3 to 9, and I just want to that's just recommended. Call Parks and Recreation Department at 440-442-2627 for more information. And again, on a personal note for yesterday's, and I want to write off the mayor a little bit, to my colleagues, if this is any indication of how well we worked together yesterday, I have the utmost confidence that we're going to do some great things for this city. So thank you very much, everybody, for switching and keeping the line going. It was a great event, and I was proud to be a part of that. So thank you again very much. That's my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Teller. Moving to Safety and Transportation Committee, Ms. Finney Brown.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report.
Thank you. Board of Zoning Appeals, Mr. Bonello.
We are in between sessions, so no report.
Moving to planning, we have 2 items on the agenda, 2 motions on the agenda tonight, a new Sprouts grocery store behind Sheets and Canes, and a 61 townhome development near Rockwell Development in our business park. So we can address kind of questions as we go through those motions, and we have Jeremy here and obviously Braden for any other support. So we will be going through, if there's any questions on minutes, I'll be happy to address those as we go through those motions. Moving on to comments from the public. We will now proceed with the public portion of the meeting pursuant to City Code. Each person will be allowed 5 minutes to speak with a maximum of 30 minutes allotted for the entire public portion. If you're here in connection with an agenda item, this is your opportunity to address council. However, please note this is not an opportunity for debate or slighted comments. If you would like to be heard this evening, please fill out the form at the public entrance. During the public portion, I will call each person wishing to speak at the podium. Please state your name, address for record, and speak clearly into the microphone. It is now 7:27, and I will open the public portion. First on the list here is Aaron Longberry.
Aaron Longberry, 1515 Temple Avenue.
Thank you.
I would like to make some comments around communication that went down this winter over snow and kind of how everything transpired, since we did have quite an epic snowstorm there for a while. Early on, I felt the communication was good. We saw good communication out that, unfortunately there was a salt shortage that took place, and that it was addressed how the city was going to handle clearing the snow out and what was going to be prioritized. I thought that went well. What I would like to see is, let's see the other half of this. As we're coming out of winter, what are we doing for the upcoming winter? How are we going to address, our salt levels? I understand that, most of the east of the country went through that shortage. That just sounds like a lot of poor planning by a lot of poor cities that went through that. So what can we do to address it for this upcoming winter? I'd be interested to see, did we see any increases in accidents because of the road conditions? Because if you drove through any of the side streets, you know that the roads were not good. As we're coming out, we're seeing the thaw and we're looking at the road conditions. You can see now that, kind of typical post-winter, there's a lot of potholes out there. The plows may have hit, dug up, the water got in there, froze, cracked, all the routine stuff. But did we see any more this winter? Is that a cost of poor planning that went into this? So I'd be interested to see how those numbers roll out so that we can hopefully do something and be proactive for this upcoming winter. The other item I would like to talk about is the communication that went out on February 10th, 2026 about snow removal from sidewalks. There was an ordinance that was mentioned in there. I thought the timing is interesting, given that it is an ordinance that is on the docket for the legislative meeting coming up here in a few days. And that's the ordinance, or City Code 559.05, the removal of snow from the sidewalks. Reading through the communication, the sentence that really got to me was, this supplemental service supports sidewalk adjacent to or community walkability, but it does not replace the responsibility of the property owners to clear the public sidewalk adjacent to their property, period, end statement. When you look at the ordinance, it is to commercial properties as far as that snow removal, not to residential. But it's not called out in this communication like this. It feels like it may have been a little played, because at that same time, there was a lot of chatter on social media about walkability with dogs and salt and everything else being out there, where people didn't want to be in the streets. Completely understandable. When everything's covered in ice, they don't want to be walking their animals. But to kind of have this communication come out at about the same time, I was hoping there would be some more clarity that came out from it. I wanted to talk about this earlier, just scheduling conflicts kind of came up, but a look at that ordinance, and is it truly something that the residentials need to worry about? Are they going to be held responsible for that? Or are we going to kind of clarify that hopefully for the upcoming winter, who's going to be responsible for the sidewalk truly, how many complaints are going to come about, is your sidewalk clear? And can we find maybe an alternate that works for everybody? Maybe looking at some of our public spaces, and can we create a clear walking path for people who want to get their animals out during the winter that will be clear for them to be able to walk and not have to worry about walking up and down the city streets, or is someone's sidewalk cleared out? That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Longberry. I think we'll follow up on both of your items. Typically, we do negotiate salt and early in the year, so that will be an agenda. I'm speaking for Mr. Bonello, but high level, we do look at negotiating all of that earlier in the year for salt, and it just was a weird year.
Absolutely.
And then I would recommend you definitely come to legislative if you can make it, but we heard your comments, so we'll talk through those on Thursday.
Awesome. I do hopefully plan on being there. It's a little early at 5 p.m. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Longberry. I do not have any other public request speak forms. Is there anyone else here to speak on an agenda item? Okay, we will now close the public portion. It is now 7:32. Next on our agenda, we discussed that there is an executive session item. So I'd like to propose a motion to adjourn into executive session to discuss personal matters related to promotions and pending or imminent litigation. May I have a motion? Moved by Mr. Minor.
Second.
Second by Ms. Finney Brown. Roll call on the motion to enter an executive session, discuss personal matters related to the promotions or pending or imminent litigation.
Mr. Brunello?
Yes.
Mr. Buffa?
Yes.
Ms. Finney Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Minor?
Yes.
Ms. Talbin?
Yes.
Mr. Teller?
Yes.
Mr. Medic?
Yes. This motion is carried. The time is 7:33 and we'll now enter executive session, but we will be back. Time is 8:03, and the executive session council meeting has reconvened. Moving on to resolutions. As suggested by the law director on the January 12, 2026 meeting, council will use a blanket suspension of the rules for multiple pieces of legislation. Is there a motion to suspend the rules on Resolution 2026-11, 2026-12, 2026-13, 2026-14, and 2026-15?
Motion.
Moved by Mr. Bonello.
Second.
Second by Mr. Deller. Roll call on the motions to suspend.
Mr. Buffa.
Yes.
Ms. Finney Brown.
Yes.
Mr. Minor.
Yes.
Ms. Talbin.
Yes.
Mr. Teller.
Yes.
Mr. Brunello.
Yes.
Mr. Medic.
Yes. Moving on to resolution number 2026-11, Mr. Schmidlin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 2026-11, a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a purchase agreement with Rush Truck Center for the purchase of a Ford F600 cab and chassis for the service department in the amount not to exceed $67,093.00 and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to approve?
Move.
Moved by Mr. Deller.
Second.
Second by Ms. Telemann. So discussion comments. So the service director of the City of Mayfield Heights has notified the mayor that the truck number 4538, originally purchased in 2000, has deteriorated to the extent that it is no longer useful to the city service department. The replacement of this truck is essential. Mr. Bonello, would you like to add anything? So there are two items here, but they're all part of the same truck. One's buying the truck, the other is the chassis and what the service department needs.
Sure, yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions. It is a two-part truck, the cabin chassis, and then the back part of the truck is the toolboxes and we call it a boom lift, scissor lift. That truck we have now serves many purposes. It assists with street light maintenance, street sign maintenance. It hangs our banners, Christmas lights, trims trees. So it's very versatile. And the current truck, as it sits, is getting close to not being able to pass inspection. So it served its useful time.
Any questions for Mr. Bonello?
I do.
Yes, Ms. Talbin.
Just to clarify then, the second piece, the Sky Boom, do we have one of those too already?
So it's one truck.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just want to make sure they're together, even though we're approving these separately.
It is together, yes.
Okay.
It's yellow. So you ever see it out on the road? It's the only yellow truck we own.
But the boom, I mean.
Yeah, the boom is yellow as well. So the truck and boom is yellow currently. So if you happen to see it on the road, we call it the boom truck for layman's terms. But it is together.
Okay, and the boom has no life value to anything either.
At this point, no. The hydraulics are leaking. It's
Gotcha.
really not the safest at this
Okay.
point.
Thanks.
Sure.
Any other questions?
One.
Yes, Mr. Minor.
So in the memo you sent, you stated that this would not exceed $250,000. So right now the resolution is for 67. Are there additional expenses coming for this particular truck?
For the truck itself, the cabin chassis, no. Everything is built into the total cost. So the strobe light package, everything that we want with the truck is built in. If it's not built in with the truck, it's built in with the back end of it. So the truck is done, the truck is complete.
So 67 is the final price tag for it?
That's correct.
Okay, all right.
I think, yeah, because
That's just for the truck.
That's for the
not
cabin
including
chassis, that's correct.
Correct. So it's two items here, Mr. Minor. It's the next two items. It's this item resolution and the next. Since they're separate vendors, separate POs, it's been packaged, but it all goes on one truck.
To exceed 250 with the second.
With the combination, oh, you don't know, oh, yeah, no, I'm sorry.
okay.
Yeah,
No,
there's not
okay.
$100,000 of options, no, there's,
That's what I was looking at. I was like, all right, okay. I see
yeah,
what it is.
250 for the
I need-
173 and the 67.
Yeah, I got you. Got you.
Any other questions? Roll call on the motion to approve.
Ms. Finney Brown.
Yes.
Mr. Minor.
Yes.
Ms. Talbin.
Yes.
Mr. Brunello.
Yes.
Mr. Buffa.
Yes.
Mr. Medic.
Yes. This motion is carried.
Mr. Medic, I was skipped, I think.
Oh, thank you.
Mr. Teller.
Yes.
Sorry.
This motion is carried. Moving on to resolution number 2026-12, which is the second part of this truck. Mr. Schmidlin.
2026-12, a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a purchase agreement with JDC Company for the purchase of a Skylift boom and related accessories for the service department in an amount not to exceed $173,000.00 and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to approve?
Moved.
Moved by Ms. Vinnie Brown.
Second.
Second by Mr. Minor. So, this, as Mr. Bonello mentioned, this is the second part. This is everything on the back of the truck. So toolboxes, lift, everything that goes, with the chassis. Any other questions? Roll call on the motion to approve.
Mr. Minor?
Yes.
Ms. Talbin?
Yes.
Mr. Teller?
Yes.
Mr. Brunello?
Yes.
Mr. Buffa?
Yes.
Ms. Finney Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Medic?
Yes. This motion is carried. Moving on to resolution number 2026-13, Mr. Schmidlin.
2026-13, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a memorandum of understanding on behalf of the city of Mayfield Heights with the Cuyahoga Soil and Water Conservation District and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to approve? Moved by Mr. Minor,
Second.
second by Mr. Teller. The City of Mayfield Heights desire to support the implementation of a conservation program with the Cuyahoga County and Soil Water Conservation District that promotes best practices for soil and water conservation, stormwater pollution prevention, and natural resource protection. Mr. Finney, would you like anything to add? I think you mentioned this in your report. Are there any questions from Mr. Finney on this? Thank you, Mr. Finney. Roll call on a motion to approve.
Ms. Talbin?
Yes.
Mr. Teller?
Yes.
Mr. Brunello?
Yes.
Mr. Buffa?
Yes.
Ms. Finney Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Minor?
Yes.
Mr. Medic?
Yes. This motion is carried. Moving on to resolution number 2026-14, Mr. Schmidlin.
2026-14, a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a memorandum of understanding with the Cuyahoga Soil and Water Conservation District and the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District to provide technical support in meeting the Ohio EPA's National Pollution Discharge Elimination System general permit for municipal stormwater systems and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to approve?
Moved.
Moved by Mr. Minor,
Second.
second by Mr. Bonello. So the city is required to annually provide for public involvement and public education, PIPE, pursuant to its Ohio EPA Municipal Separation Storm Sewer Systems, MS $ discharge permit. Are there any questions? Roll call on motion to approve.
Mr. Teller?
Yes.
Mr. Brunello?
Yes.
Mr. Buffa?
Yes.
Ms. Finney Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Minor?
Yes.
Ms. Talbin?
Yes.
Mr. Medic?
Yes. This motion is carried. Moving on to resolution number 2026-15, Mr. Schmidlin.
2026-15, a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with IO Solutions to provide civil service promotional testing services in the city of Mayfield Heights and declaring an emergency.
Is there a motion to approve?
Approve. So moved.
Ms. Talbin, second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Finney Brown. The Mayfield Heights Civil Service Commission requires professional testing services in connection with the administration of a promotional test for lieutenant and sergeant in the police department, and IO Solutions has proposed to provide such services. Are there any questions? Roll call on the motion to approve.
Mr. Brunello?
Yes.
Mr. Buffa?
Yes.
Ms. Finney Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Minor?
Yes.
Ms. Talbin?
Yes.
Mr. Teller?
Yes.
Mr. Medic?
Yes. This motion has carried. Moving on to ordinances, we do not have any ordinances tonight. Moving on to motions. Motion A, Mr. Schmidlin.
Motion A, a motion to authorize the solicitation of bids for the Washington Boulevard Improvement Project.
Is there a motion to approve?
Moved.
Moved by Mr. Minor, second by Ms. Finney Brown. Are there any questions for Mr. Finney? Roll call on the motion to approve.
Mr. Buffa?
Yes.
Ms. Finney Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Minor?
Yes.
Ms. Talbin?
Yes.
Mr. Teller?
Yes.
Mr. Brunello?
Yes.
Mr. Medic?
Yes. This motion is approved. Moving on to motion B, Mr. Schmidlin.
Motion B, a motion to authorize the solicitation of bids for the Ridgeberry Boulevard resurfacing project between the City of Mayfield Heights and the City of Highland Heights.
Is there a motion to approve?
Moved.
Moved by Mr. Brunello, second by Ms. Finney Brown. Are there any questions for Mr. Finney? So this would just be half of Ridgeberry, kind of where the line is. Last year, Highland Heights did their half, so we're looking to pick up our half of Ridgeberry. Excuse me? Okay. Roll call on the motion to approve.
Ms. Finney Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Minor?
Yes.
Ms. Talbin?
Yes.
Mr. Buffa?
Yes.
Mr. Minor? Hold on, my sheet's wrong. Ms. Finney Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Minor?
Yes.
Ms. Talbin?
Yes.
Mr. Teller?
Yes.
Mr. Brunello?
Yes.
Mr. Buffa?
Yes.
Mr. Medic?
Yes. This motion is approved. Moving on to motion C, Mr. Schmidlin.
Motion C, a motion to approve the preliminary site plan approval for the new residential townhome community on Parkland Boulevard, permanent parcel number 863-20003.
Is there a motion to approve?
Moved.
Moved by Ms. Finney Brown,
Second.
second by Mr. Teller. I'd like to offer an opportunity for the developer to come, maybe just do a quick presentation. I can answer and help with any questions that may have come out of the planning meeting. We just wanted to offer, and if there's any questions, if you could also be available as well.
Good evening, Greg Summers, Summers Development Group, 10585 Somerset Drive, Sharon, Ohio, 44024. I appreciate the opportunity to be in front of council again. If you remember, several months back, we were in front of you to present informally to show you the project. And in the meantime, we were able to work with Braden, the planning department, and do several revisions to the plan and really optimize the plan to address all the comments that we received from council, planning. You know, we received comments from your safety forces, police, fire, engineering. So we've thoroughly addressed those, and we're more than okay with all the conditions that were set forth on the plan. Like I said, from the first plan that you saw, it was significantly revised, better traffic flow, 2 streets coming in, off the main road, which I think looks a lot nicer. We're going to make the stormwater retention ponds assets with walking trails, fountains. So we like that. We really like that feature. We think it'll enhance the community. We were also able to, we got feedback from both council and planning about guest parking. And we were able to, each unit will have 4 parking spots between garage, driveway, and we were able to get another 37 guest parking spots. So sufficient guest parking, more than sufficient. We were glad that we were able to accomplish that. And like I said, we worked very diligently to take the time to optimize the plan that from what you originally saw to what the final plan is, and we feel like it's a great use for the property, and we think that we have the best plan in front of you. But with that, I'm open to questions. Thank you.
Are there any questions? There's something I'd like to add. So, as part of my duties on planning, I mentioned that I'm a stakeholder, so I wanted to kind of define that for everyone. I do not have any ties to this property, the developer. I happen to be the tenant across the street. So, I have reviewed this with our legal department and the Ohio Ethics to see if I can continue in my role on planning on this. And, that's being addressed, and then we'll have a letter, but I have no financial tie, even though I happen to be a neighbor, like Woodhawk neighbors, because I look out my office and look at this development, but I do not have any ties to this project. But we have some business also to take care of as talking with Mr. Braden this evening, is a motion to remove the walking path from this proposal, which was the second page, that would be a second item to this development. Mr. Rowan mentioned that, TIF opportunities, this is, all preliminary, but I would like to entertain a motion to remove the walking path from the the preliminary plan.
Right. Just a quick question. Prior to the motion, should I ask my question now? Or do we make the motion and I can ask my question later?
Ask your question now.
Ask it now?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello again.
How are you?
Last time you came in front of us, we asked a couple of questions around the economic impact of this type of development within the city. One was the increase in property value to the adjacent properties. I think that might have been addressed in the minutes, but I didn't see it. So it might be another good question to answer if property values will inflate over time for the surrounding residents versus just this property. And there were a number of questions, and I'm going to look at Jeremy because I think Jeremy might have something to do with this too. So property tax is one. The surrounding environment is another for me. And then I also, I have it listed here as the HOA. And then the transitory leadership was one of the key things that you brought to us as a key to this development, that basically the executives of the organizations that are within the city right now and are looking for this type of development to have somewhere to stay when they're coming into the city to do very high level work with the company. I'm very curious what that looks like for us from an employment standpoint. How many people would actually fall into this bucket of transitory leadership that would live here or purchase property within here? So I think it might be better. I'm really not asking these questions to be answered now. I think we should just, as a part of our process, get a list of questions together to kind of to put into this planning process in the next stage. I don't want to ask you like 15 questions right now. But I just want to put it out there that in the last meeting when we had this preliminary, presentation, we had a list of questions that came out of it that are in the minutes. So that'll be our first step, is just to take the questions out of the minutes, modify them, then just resubmit it to Mr. Summers and Jeremy. And I think maybe Dana you might have some new questions out of it. But that's it. It's really not a list of questions.
So it's more of a statement than just making
I know.
sure, yes.
What can I say? No. But just to put that out there.
Yeah, and I guess one thing I'll add is for newer city council members, Mr. Summers did come before city council last fall, and obviously there's an October planning meeting that this was introduced. So this development was introduced last fall, but we do have some new city council members. So I definitely encourage you that the minutes that were handed out, please review those for next time you see this in front of you. Again, this is only preliminary plan approval today, as Braden explained.
We can also consider having a cow meeting at a later date with all these questions being answered outside the council meeting, but, right before the meeting, if we want to do that as well. If Matt, you can call one.
Yeah, I agree. Are there any other comments before we move a motion to remove the walking path from this preliminary plan?
Yeah,
Yes, Mr. Buffa.
A question just on that point. Are we just removing the path in that, or is there anything else associated with that would get removed, like the basins and the fountains, or is there anything else in that mix?
I don't believe so. We were just looking to remove that second page of the trails. I mean, part of what the discussion was in planning is that needs further vetting with business owners, with, the entire city, working with Jeremy on a TIF. So there's a lot of steps here to move that forward. So just to eliminate confusion, I think Braden was suggesting we remove the trail for now, and then review that together in the future. Yes, Mr. Thomas.
So maybe this is more of a area for the law director to address. Sorry, Ray. I'm not sure if we need a separate motion to remove it, or in your motion to approve Planning Commission's decision, you can add the modification to remove the walking path as opposed to creating a whole other motion.
I would suggest we make a motion to approve, subject to a modification to remove the language in page 2. Okay. So it's all one neat motion.
Thank you.
So we'll proceed based on that motion. So let's redo the vote on the motion to approve.
We haven't taken it yet.
We haven't taken it yet?
No.
Okay. Motion to approve,
Subject to.
subject to removing the walking trail as part of the package.
Mr. Meitner?
Moved, Mr. Minor.
Second.
Second by Ms. Finney Brown.
Hope-
Any further comments, discussions?
Have to mo- Yeah, sorry, Maggie started calling the vote, but we were moving the motion. So I made the motion essentially, and then I think Kathy seconded it, right? Did you second that, or was it Jessica?
I seconded
It was Jessica, sorry. I made the
No,
motion,
you-
Jessica seconded.
I have it as, well, previously you motioned, then Mr. Teller motioned, and then we had a discussion.
For this?
No. Before,
Let's,
we made a motion, but King said before we do that, I have a question. So we
Yeah.
haven't
Okay.
made a motion yet.
Okay.
I threw it all out of whack.
You
It was
did.
me. But we just made the motion. I made it. Jessica second. Now it is up for a vote. Correct?
Correct.
Unless there's any other questions. Sorry. All right, we're good. Roll call the motion to approve.
Mr. Minor?
Yes.
Ms. Talbin?
Yes.
Mr. Teller?
Yes.
Mr. Brunello?
Yes.
Mr. Buffa?
Yes.
Ms. Finney Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Medic?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Summers.
Thank you.
Motion D, Mr. Schmidlin.
Mr. Chairman. Motion D, a motion to approve the preliminary site plan approval for a new Sprouts grocery store at 5906 Mayfield Road, permanent parcel number 861240069.
Is there a motion to approve?
Moved.
Moved by Ms. Finney Brown, second by Mr. Bonello. Any discussion, comments, questions for me based on the, or the mayor, based on the planning meeting and minutes? Would you like to hear a presentation? The applicant is here. Okay. Would you mind stepping up, name and address, and then just a quick presentation?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Catherine Holmock, Kimley Horn, 3875 Embassy Parkway, Suite 280, Akron, Ohio. The Sprouts development is one of the first in Ohio. The Sprouts Farmers Market is an organic grocery market focusing on holistic foods and is in 24 states with over 400 grocery stores throughout those 24 states. So I am, as a local, very excited to have this grocery store, as well as the 8,000 square foot future retail. We don't have a tenant for that slated, but we are talking, GBT, who is the developer, is talking to a number of retail establishments for adjoining Sprouts. But we do have Sprouts coming on this development. So we're super excited to work with the city on this. And we'll entertain any questions.
Are there any questions for the applicant? Roll call on the motion to approve.
Ms. Talbin?
Yes, approved.
Mr. Teller?
Yes.
Mr. Brunello?
Yes.
Mr. Buffa?
Yes.
Ms. Finney Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Minor?
Yes.
Mr. Medic?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next item on the agenda is an additional executive session, as we discussed. Is there a motion to adjourn into executive session to discuss economic development?
Moved.
Moved by Mr. Minor,
Second.
second by Ms. Finney Brown. Roll call on the motion to enter an executive session to discuss economic development.
Mr. Teller?
Yes.
Mr. Brunello?
Yes.
Mr. Buffa?
Yes.
Ms. Finney Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Minor?
Yes.
Ms. Talbin?
Yes.
Mr. Medic?
Yes. The time is 8:27, and we will now enter into executive session.